Once again, it is time to talk about the insufficient service that Central Nassau County gets on Nice Bus. And tonight was yet another example of that at Roosevelt Field. Huge crowds waiting for the n24 going west because they don't have enough bus service on the n24 going west in the evenings. This is continuing to be a problem with them because the volume of people going back. There are a lot of people that work in and around Roosevelt Field that go back toward Queens in the evening, and they don't seem to understand that. And so before I show you, talk about the schedules, I'm going to show you what it was like at Roosevelt Field. It was just a complete... The mall itself was dead, but it was a madhouse of people going back. Because you can see what's going on here. We have a lot of crowding going on in these buses because they don't have enough service going to Jamaica out of Roosevelt Field in the evening. It's a constant problem that they refuse to address properly. And you can see the huge crowds waiting on the 24 to go back. And this is why I walk through Garden City, because this is what I avoid when I don't walk to Garden City to go home. I avoid having to deal with all these crowds, people that are going back. I don't know if these are from the cricket. I don't know if it's just, I think it's just normally like this. It's always like this here. It's always like this, and it's just getting worse because they don't have enough buses. They don't have enough buses. It's not enough service. They don't listen, and people are standing out here for half an hour waiting for a bus, when the volume is clearly here for more bus service, and they need it badly, But the NICE is not listening, because they're under instructions by Bruce Blakeman to, neglect this area. That's what they do. They neglect this area on purpose, because, well, it's not the South Shore, not a certain demographic, so that's what we get to have to deal with here, overcrowding. And it's a really big problem. So this is what I mean. I'm probably going to be taking the 22 because the 22 is less crowded. This bus here, the 24, where everybody's waiting for, is just going to be jammed. Absolutely. I won't even get a seat. See how far back that line goes? So this is exactly what I mean. And, they split the routes up, too, so everybody takes the 24 because everybody's going to Jamaica. But this is the way people are at. This is the way we're treated here. I wonder if that's the 24 already coming in, ready to pick up people. It sure looks like it. Do you think I'm going to get a seat on that bus? I'll wait for the 22 instead. I'm not going to get a seat on that bus. That bus is going to be jammed. I'm waiting for the 22. As soon as the 22 comes, I'll get on it. This is 22 Hicksville. All right, this must be the 22 to Mineola, but the sign is broken on it. Yeah, so... See, look at that long line there waiting for that bus. But I don't know if this is the 22 to Mineola or the 22 to Hicksville. I think it's the 22 to Mineola, but the sign is wrong. This is what you get with Nice Bus. See, but I'd rather get on this because it's emptier. Guess what? There's no air conditioning on this bus. Only one window is open, that's it. No air conditioning. We wouldn't have this if MTA was still here. So that's why I walk going back. I just get off the 15, and then I walk from this spot and go through Garden City, walk through this, and then back to Mineola, which takes me about 40 minutes, versus having to wait for the bus here at Roosevelt Field. And then a lot of the times there are these traffic lights leaving Roosevelt Field. It takes a very long time just to get out of there. So a lot of the times I actually beat the bus walking. So there you go. You got to see what it looked like here. And this is the problem right now that we have, is that they don't have enough service on the 24. This is continuing to be a problem. So here we are looking at the schedules for the n24. We have the schedules here going to Jamaica over here. So I'm going to make this a little larger so everybody can see this. So what we were waiting for here was the 844 trip. This is the crowds. It used to be the 840 trip, but then they made it 844. All right. So they don't have enough service. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So they're only getting about a little less than half hourly service going out of Roosevelt Field. And I'm sure some of these earlier buses are even worse. 5:55, 6:29, 7:03, 7:37, 8:12, and 8:44. Then 9:14, 9:44. I mean, they really just don't have enough service going back. And then the last bus is 11:16. When this is a route that clearly I think could use Hawk service. All right. So this route is being neglected. If anything, it seems like they've cut the amount of service on this route. All right. And out of Hicksville, you're only having hourly service after the 624 trip, basically. So this isn't enough service, and this is huge. They've been chopping away at the Mid-Island service for a while now. They keep doing it because we all know that they're under orders by this guy right here, County Executive Bruce Blakeman, because, again, it's all about the South Shore. This area doesn't count, all right? So this is the problem that we have. And everybody takes the 24 because that's a direct trip from Roosevelt Field to Jamaica. The 22 is indirect, so that's why you saw me get on the 22, which wasn't that crowded. Because if I was tried to get on that 24, it would have been packed. I would have had a stand, and honestly, would have gotten home later. Oh, we have a fail here. It's saying file or directory not found. So when I click on this, we can't even look at the 22 schedule. All right, let me try it for here. If it still doesn't work, then we'll have to. All right, here we go. So this is the 22 schedule. All right, so on a weekday here, this is the weekday schedule, and it's a split route. So the bus I got on was at 8:40. All right, and they also get half hourly service in the 22, but then the trip ends at 8:51 at Mineola. And the problem is that these trips, a lot of the times they're pulling into Mineola as the Jamaica trip pulls on out. Again, they when they did this split, they said, there would be connecting service. Now there is no connecting service. So you see what happens here. All right, it leaves at 8:52. 8:52 it leaves. So literally 1 minute to spare, and we were late, so everybody probably missed that 8:52 bus out of Mineola. And then the next one on the 22 wouldn't be until 9:27. And then it's only hourly after that. So they've really been just keep chipping away at the service here in the middle of the island. It's another reason why I fight to move to the South Shore, because the bus service here just keeps getting reduced. And the ridership's really not going down, but they're trying to obviously get it to go down. That's obviously what County Executive Bruce Blakeman is thinking. Now let's compare it to the N4, and this is a route I cited in the video here. The 4 has frequent service now. Out of Freeport, you can see they get service every 20 minutes out of Freeport. All right, 7:21, 7:45, 8:05. This is what the N24 needs. Service every 20 minutes. And then it's not until after the 8:25 trip that it goes to every half an hour at 8:55. All right. This could still be a bit of an issue here. I still think they could use a little more, even on the N4, a little more service. It's just another example of how Nice Bus is definitely inferior. I would love to get some old schedules from the MTA. I'm sure they ran much more often. Nice gets a huge subsidy from the state, and the amount of service they provide is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. But the N4 does get treated better. They do get more service. And honestly, I think the 24 carries just as many people at that time going back toward Queens. I really do. I really do. So this is just another example of what I'm talking about. What's going on. You have discrimination on top of Nice Bus trying to constantly reduce service levels and make it seem like they're increasing service levels. It's just another reason why MTA Long Island Bus needs to come back. It's yet another reason